Why is it not as simple as just slow down?
Um, I wish I knew the answer, but it just never worked for me. If someone told me to slow down, it would just impose all this pressure on me. And sometimes I think to myself, well, when I do slow down a bit, I do stutter less. Like if I'm working with a young child.
Right.
But if I'm working with a young child, I'm also speaking a lot simpler
Right.
to them too. And then I notice if I'm working with an older child, like a middle school, high schooler, I'm stuttering more. So
That's fascinating.
if you're only saying a few word utterances, like please sit down, stutter much.
The reason I asked the question is because I'm pretty sure that if you guys, me included, were having a pretty tough stuttering day, if we slowed our rate down, we'd probably be stuttering a lot less. And I was trying to get at helping, like, possibly future speech therapists to understand, well, it's not just as easy as telling someone you need to speak slower. Like, why doesn't that always work is what I guess I'm trying.
Well, here's when rate reduction does work for me, and I often try to reduce my rate because I'm sure I'm going to listen to this podcast and be like, oh man, you were going so fast. Maybe I just have a naturally fast rate though, but I find, if I am having a stuttery day and I do cue myself in to slow down, it's usually, I might just be adding in a pause or two, or then once I slow down, then I can throw in some speech tools. But if I'm going a mile of minute, I'm not going to remember to do a cancellation.
I was going to say, that was a nice cancellation.
Yeah.
Do you use the, I'm sorry to keep asking questions, but do you use cancellations regularly?
Yeah, I do. Oftentimes I'll use them and be like, oh, okay, that was a good one.
Yeah, that's what I love about speech tools is that even though we give them names and all, I think people who stutter often just discover them ourselves. It's like a cancellation is so empowering. Oh, I don't like how I stuttered. I'm going to do it again better. So, Pam, for you, why isn't it just as easy as, just slow down?
Well, probably like Elana said, I think I'm just a naturally fast talker and fast thinker anyway. But I honestly think some of mine comes from having been brought up in a big family. I was the oldest of 6. Okay. And it seems like there was always this competition to be heard. Yeah. And it seems like even from like a young age, I was always trying to talk fast to be able to get it out there and to be being able to compete with the 5 other kids that were in the family. And I think the other part of it is that like when somebody tells me to slow down or take a deep breath, I immediately feel like they're thinking that I'm doing something wrong. Yeah. And so like I take like offense to that, I think, and may not even like be aware of it, but I think subconsciously I'm feeling like they're telling me to slow down because they're thinking I'm doing something wrong or I sound bad. And I don't like that, so I think that's why it's harder for me to slow down.